That was hard, that it was grueling, but Flanagan, by the look of him, thinks that he's just about done enough.
Okay, so what we're doing is this is live real time. Waiting for them to read the cards. This is one of those situations where to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. Unfortunately, it doesn't go like that in sports all the time, especially when we've seen controversial decisions from War versus Kovalev, and in a lot of people's eyes, Golovkin versus Jacobs. Terry Flanagan is the WBO 135-pound champion. He's a Frank Warren fighter based out of the UK. He's a big 135-pound fighter, meaning he's about 5'9", 5'10" or so. Looking at his resume, there's really not too much there, but however, it is enough there. For example, you can consider Orlando Cruz, the first openly gay boxer. You can consider him to be a known name. Derry Matthews, especially over there in the UK, is a known name. Diego Magdaleno, he's a known name. Outside of that, there's really not much there. But now he's had, if he wins this fight, this would be, and in my opinion, he should win this fight. But Peter Petrov is a very good fighter. I've been covering him for a long time now, probably since he fought Marcos Maidana. That's around the time I really started covering him. His last fight against Michael Perez, that was on Ring TV, if I'm correct. He wasn't able to win that fight. So now here he is fighting on, if I'm correct, this is an inaugural BTSport show over there for Frank Warren and BoxNation. So he's headlining, along with Terry Flanagan, the champion, a big card over there. Also, they streamed it live on Twitter. Put it this way, I watch so much boxing. I like the fight. A lot of people are going to say I was boring, when they were hugging and everything, but I just like boxing.
Together,
let's listen to the cards.
I think we're now ready to go into the ring and find out if Flanagan,
of course, it's in the UK.
WBO lightweight
Flanagan should just get the nod off of that. I know it's kind of crazy to say, but in my opinion, he won.
12 rounds. We go to the judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. The judges score this contest: Terry O'Connor at 116-112. Mikhail Hush scored the contest 120-108, and Zoltan Enyedi 118-110 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still,
I can understand the 116-112. The 120-108 was, but either way, he won the fight. I guess that's all that matters, right? He won the fight. The 120-108 was, a little out there. I hope they don't end the stream because I want to hear the post-fight interviews. Because now we want to know where Terry Flanagan is going to go next. Over there in the UK, there's a big money fight, a big fight that fans want to see with him and Anthony Crolla. However, Anthony Crolla, if I'm correct, is not going to be ranked very high by the WBO. But yet, it's a fight that can still happen. But with Frank Warren and BTSport, and then you have Eddie Hearn with Sky Sports, the promotional shit would be an issue. It would be an issue. So let's listen to the post-fight interview from the fighters because they're not going to show it. See, the question is, right, there's technically really only 3 champions in the 135-pound division. You got Terry Flanagan, of course, who's the WBO. You got Jorge Linares, who's the WBA and the WBC Diamond. And then you have Mikey Garcia. And see, Mikey Garcia and Jorge Linares kind of hold like the same belt. They have to fight each other in order to unify those titles. But once again, you have Linares, who can consider a unified champion with that WBC and that WBA, and then you have, in my opinion, the weakest of those 4, Robert Easter. It's not saying Robert Easter is not good. It's not saying that at all. It's just that I feel that even though Terry Flanagan didn't look good again in there tonight, I feel that he still may have enough, outside of being, 33-0 with only 13 KOs. I still feel he may have enough to beat Robert Easter. And likely, the only people that are going to really not agree with me are the people who don't watch Terry Flanagan fights. I really think that if Richard Comey was able to do what he was able to do, that Terry Flanagan is a better fighter than that. And just watching him, I feel he's a better fighter than Robert Easter. But however, that is a 50-50 fight, you know? In my opinion, that's a 50-50 fight. But I do feel that Terry Flanagan can beat him just like Robert Easter can beat him. Now, can Terry Flanagan beat a Mikey Garcia? I don't think so. Can he beat a Jorge Linares? See, you can always give, fighters a chance against Jorge Linares because Linares' chin. You can always say a fighter has a puncher's chance. But the way he boxed against Anthony Crolla, excuse me, I do feel that, that Jorge Linares can beat Terry Flanagan. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he goes from here. Also, guess what? His mandatory is going to be Felix Verdejo. So he's in the deep end now. The good thing about being in that deep end is unless he comes over here for Mikey Garcia, I guess, he don't have to leave the UK to fight any of these guys because he's pretty marketable over there. And a Robert Easter would do better going over there to fight him unless Terry Flanagan comes to Ohio. So there's ways for him to go, but it's going to be interesting to see, where he goes from here, especially with the division being so deep. But now what happens to Petrov? He's won what? How many? His last loss was in 2013 against to the James Zakatakanen. The James Zakatakanen lost to Mikey Garcia, which is the reason why Mikey Garcia's got the WBC fight. He's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights since then, and he just lost to Terry Flanagan. He's 34 years old with Artie Pulo and Banner Promotions, which is based out of here in Philly, but their office is like whatever. But I really don't know where he goes from here. I really don't know. They just got to start building him back up, or does he test the waters at 140 pounds? I don't know. He seems to be a career 135-pound fighter, even though he fought Marcos Maidana at 140, and that was back in 2011. So could he test the waters at 140 pounds? Or could he try to go another, route? Maybe he can try to go the IBF route. You just don't know, man. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I do feel there's no controversy. Terry Flanagan did win. That 120 to 108 card was BS in my opinion. But for the most part, Terry Flanagan won. And he's got some good names on his resume now. Like I said, when you look at the fact of, Diego Magdaleno, you got Derry Matthews, you got Orlando Cruz, and then you got Peter Petrov. Those are some good, names to have on your resume. Those are not, it's not like he's defending his belt against like trash cans. Those are some good solid names. But, that's all up to interpretation, I guess. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media. All right, though. He fought Nate Campbell all those years back. And Gary Sykes. And I forgot that he fought Derry Matthews before. Where have I been? Man? It's been a long couple of days. He don't have really too much of an amateur background. They say he started his career, his pro career, when he was 19 years old. And looking at the crowd and looking at the way they marketed this fight, even though I feel that Liam Smith and Liam Williams was the fight of the night. Oh, by the way, I'm doing my video on that. Even though I feel that was the fight of the night, this was overall, I guess you could say this was overall a good card. So, once again, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live, and the goal is to make sure that we cover all championship bouts. And as time goes forward, we're going to be going even into those lower of the low weight class as soon as I can find out how to watch them all effortlessly without having to fucking go to the dark web. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying my best, to, I can't, put it this way. My goal is not to catch my competitors. My goal is not to try to get, I got to catch them in subscribers. That's not the goal. The goal is now to leapfrog them with making sure I put out quality content, making sure we get a quality background. For those who don't know, or the new subscribers, I've been doing this for quite some time. But now I'm in a situation where I actually have the resources to pump into the business. So therefore, we're going to have like a nice studio set. So I'm doing it all, self-made. I got 2 partners, and I'm making sure that 2017 is going to be the best year that we've ever had. You know, so I know what you've been asking me to do for years. And for the new people, I'm not just some dude that's just on here just try to get money, you know, just think he's some boxing expert when he's not. Just a regular dude that covers boxing just watches boxing just like you, except now I interview boxers and send people to fights. So if you're interested in helping out in any way, shape, or form, please email me at editor, that's EDITOR, at FightView360.com. We're getting there. Please subscribe.